when we talk about the Dominican Republic specifically, and the three of you are all Dominican, and I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican, a lot of people, I had a conversation with George Ramos about this, and I think it's important for us to talk about how race was politicized in the Dominican Republic, because the truth of it is that people don't realize that there were consequences, legal consequences. There was terrorism involved in claiming your blackness in the Dominican Republic. And that generational trauma transcends. And people don't understand that with regards to the Dominican Republic specifically, there is still that in there, you know? So I wanted you all to talk about that, because I grew up more Puerto Rican because I grew up with my mother's family. And a lot of the education that I've had about the Dominican Republic has come from my brother, who I met recently. You know, my father had families and all of that stuff. But you are connected directly to the experience. And we indict people and we're so quick to condemn, because when we're bitter, we don't want to move forward and we want to stay in the bitterness. But those of us who are really trying to move forward and move our people forward, we want to have conversations that are productive. So when we talk about the Dominican Republic, a lot of times people like to point out that Dominicans are self-hating Black people and that they're racist, but they don't understand the generational trauma that comes along with being Dominican. So I want you to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, we all know Trujillo, right? Everybody knows, in this room, at least we know who Trujillo is. Rafael Trujillo was the ruler of Dominican Republic for almost 30 or 31 years, something like that. Think about that. And he was as racist as they come. He will line you up and he will kill you based off of your color. He will kill the Haitians. He wouldn't let the Haitians even come over. So you got to think about, of someone 30 years planting these seeds in people's minds and people everywhere in this country, how do you think, and this was up until 1961, I think he died, something like that. That's not that long ago. That's like 40 years ago. Think about how now we are dismantling all of that and trying to figure it out. And it's because when you, just like in your household, it's nurture, right? In your household, te dicen a ti que tú tienes pelo malo for 18 years of your life when you're living in that household. It's going to take you some time when you get out of the household to understand que yo no tengo el pelo malo. ¿Quién dice? But it takes time. It takes education. It takes knowledge. So I think we have to just be a little more sensitive when we're talking about something like a Dominican Republic where the ruler, an asshole of Trujillo, a super racist man, ruled that country and murdered and slaughtered dozens and dozens of people based off of the color of their skin and their hair.
Yeah. But yeah, like I remember one time my grandfather from my dad's side, he is like, hay que tirar todo el haitiano de afuera de la República Dominicana, hay que sacar todo. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, pero tú eres más negro que Peña Gómez. You know, I'm like, the
like, Dominican candidate.
Yeah, he's like a Dominican. So I'm like, you know, I'm looking at him and I am just puzzled because I'm like, this self-hate is so crazy, right? So I remember I went on a panel and I was talking about it and I'm like, you know, I can tell my grandfather like, oh, you're wrong, but he's also 90. He's almost out the door. Like, what am I gonna do to like change his mind? I mean, he died because of this concept, but you know, I'm like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to educate my nieces, my nephews, the youth. We need to educate the youth because of that fear that was instilled in the Dominican culture where you're like, tú eres negro. No, yo no soy negro. Hey, yo no soy negro. I was a negro. And it's just like, do you understand what I'm talking about? And that's why I say that Dominican Republic became we have more of a tribe mentality because it's like, you know, we have been, what was the word that Trujillo had somebody say? He'll have them pronounce a word, and if they couldn't pronounce it right, he would shoot them.
Because the Haitian tongue is a little different.
He would shoot them.
You talk about the Parsley, you talk about the Parsley massacre? Perejil.
If you couldn't say Perejil, bang, you dead.